Well, it's been 14 months since my last salary. And I wanted to record this review because maybe you are facing a similar situation today. Maybe my history can help you. And because I want the best for you and I want you to find your way for happiness and fulfillment. So someone said that it's very smart to learn from your own mistakes. The smarter option is to learn from other people's mistakes. So I will share here some learnings. So honestly speaking, it's difficult for me to believe everything that I've been through this time. Now I'm taking a break, so I'm going to make a little bit retrospective on what I find out in this 14 months journey. And please join me in this trip so we can explore together. So well, I was thinking that maybe you were interested how did I solve this. So if I compare 1 year ago, like many other people, I lost my job and was in the middle of a lot of debts and issues and problems and family problems. Sometimes these things happen in the worst moment, and I'm not blaming the happening, but these situations comes in a very inappropriate moment. So, but how did I move forward? I think it's a phrase from Roosevelt or some American president that I think he said once, do what you can with what you have where you are. So in your present situation, your present place, in your present situation, do what you can with what you have. And this is more or less my first tactic. My first tactic was to focus on solving one problem at a time. And I think this is the very first point, is to not desperate. I know some situations can be very difficult. I can understand it. But in that moment I'd say, okay, it's been a while. I wanted to be entrepreneur and I wanted to be independent. So when I faced the situation of my contract ending, say, okay, this is the time to start. And then I decided to try something different. The first moment was really terrifying. It was a very terrifying situation because I was in the middle of debts. I had 3 or 4 debts, more or less. Okay, I don't want to say numbers, but something like a car. I was owning a car, let's say. A big money for someone that don't have a job. But the point is, in that point, I also didn't qualify to sign up for unemployment money or unemployment insurance. So in the very first moment, I face the point that okay, from this point I don't have any income anymore. There is no money coming to my account the next month. So now it's been 14 months with this situation. In 14 months, I never received a salary again. Well, it's not that I didn't have a chance to find a job. I had some chances to find a job. But let's go step by step. Maybe you find interesting my story. First of all, we need to be careful what we think, what we say, because our language, it creates our reality. And then it's not the same to say, okay, this is a catastrophic situation, than to say, okay, this is a challenge. It's not the same. The circumstances, the environment, what you see around me is always the same, but how I interpret it can be totally different. So then, one thing, and this is my recommendation for you, everything starts with the body. So you need to take good rest, good hydration, make exercise, have good as possible meal. Well, in that time, I didn't have any resource to eat. So I was depending on other people to help me to provide me food and these kind of things. But that was part of the adventure. And okay, I talk to myself. The self-conversation is very important. You need to be your best friend in these situations. Don't blame yourself and avoid to blame others. It was a very strong moment, I remember. It was a very strong moment, and I said, okay, I will do the best I can when I am. And then I start to search income possibilities, anything, so any kind of small jobs, or maybe selling guitar lessons, or for good luck I had a lot of skills and experiences. But when you are starting a business, it's very important that you host an appropriate vibration. Your energy, your vibration is critical. And in these situations, it's difficult because you have the struggling to get food, to get money to pay the last month billings, and it's very difficult to not think negatively or to desperate. So the first point is to stay calm. I think the big fortune is that I had good health. That's important. Health is the most important thing. And through all this experience, I discovered or learned the value of food. How valuable is food, water and air. So, and something interesting to say is that I was trying a couple of business ideas. And those business idea in that moment didn't work for me. And there is a point that I said, okay, I give up of this business idea because they are not working. In that moment, they start to work. So when I declare my detachment from the business process, it starts to work. And actually now is my main income is from this original business idea. Right now I'm running 3 different business ideas, and this first idea was the most difficult at the moment, and now is the one that provides me more income. This makes me stay in contact with the idea that you are the soul of your business. The importance in your business is not the ideas, it's not the processes, it's not the plan, it's not the strategy. You are the soul. You are the soul of your business. And we should never forget that. That's why I think the main activity for an entrepreneur is to meditate, to train the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, if your child version from where you were 10 years old, 8 years old, this is your subconscious mind. An entrepreneur needs to work with his subconscious mind, with the entire mindset, of course, but this is critical. It's not nice to have, it's critical. It doesn't matter the strategy, the plan, or the resources. You can create a business just with ideas. You don't need to have any money, indeed. Of course, if you count with resources, that makes things easier or maybe complicated. But really, you don't need money to start a business. I went step by step, and I solved one issue at a time. That works for me. The other thing that works for me is to understand that these are 2 different things. One thing is to fulfill your monthly necessities, and other thing is to build a business. The business process is a long-term process. You cannot start a business to pay this month bills or to pay this day food. So you need to cover both sides of the coin. So first you need to get any income you can for your daily needs. This is one cash flow. This is the small business cash flow, and then you have the big business cash flow that goes in the long term. Normally, people say that to be entrepreneur, you need to have some savings to be able to survive 6, 8, 10 months. Well, in that moment, I didn't have any money. My bank accounts were in red numbers. I'm describing it right now and I feel the fear again. It was really a crazy situation. But you know what? You also cannot be entrepreneur from the comfort zone. You also cannot be a successful business person only doing things that are comfortable for you. You need to jump off your comfort zone, and to do that, sometimes difficult situations helps you to jump. If you are just trying to build a business from the comfort zone, you are going to do it so slow and with so much care and with too much calculation. Sometimes a little bit of pressure helps to take strong decisions, especially. The other thing that helps me is to use a Scrum. Scrum is a framework from IT industry that implements empiricism to explore the unknown world. And the Scrum principles help me a lot to run some experiments and to explore reality step by step, part by part, to test some ideas and to find out what really works. It basically follows a cycle that where you establish a strategy, you put it to the test, you evaluate if it works, and then you make changes and you start again. It's like a circle. Yeah? That's a good tactic to find out what really works. The other point I would say is that the main person that you need to believe in you is yourself. We are never alone in this trip, in this journey. We have a lot of people that want to help us, that will help us, and we will help a lot of people. And this helping is the flow of energy you need in the business. That's why also it's very critical that you remain optimist and positive. But not the empty, naive optimism, but to know that there is possibilities. The fact that you don't see them does not mean they don't exist. They exist. We are surrounded of possibilities, millions of possibilities. It doesn't matter if you don't see them, they are there. We are swimming in a pool full of money. There is a lot of money around. And you only need to find a way to set up your energy so this money enters into your life. If you watch around, there is a lot of money around you. People buying things, cars, houses, businesses. If you're not in a desert, if you're not in the Sahara Desert, if you're in a city, it doesn't matter which country it is, there is a lot of money around you. What comes to the next point? As an extreme entrepreneur, you need to stop thinking in money. And money do not exist. Money is just a tool. It's just an exchange tool. Money is not the goal. Money is not the purpose. People is the purpose. And then if you understand that your business is your network of relations, you can understand that first of all what you need to build up as fast as possible is the set of relations that can help you to move forward and go build step by step. This, I hear many people having the same experience, that they focus first on the nearest 6 persons. That's a good tactic. Pick up the nearest 6 persons you can help and do it, and do it. And suddenly, the magic starts to happen. As long as you help more the people start to trust in you, and people start to give you more tasks. And when you are able to create a good, strong relation with these nearest people, these people will bring you more people. They're known and relatives. You don't need a marketing system. You need a relation system. And suddenly you find out the way. And the way appears. Things will happen if you allow them to happen. So I'm very strongly thankful that this journey in my life happened. When I watched it 14 months ago, in that moment I was with red numbers in the bank accounts, with debts, with everything, and after 14 months I'm debt-free. I'm debt-free. Of course, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a money person, but I'm not missing nothing. But I discover I am already a millionaire. To be a millionaire is not to have money. It's to have health, to have friends, and to have a purpose. And the size of your business will be defined by the size of your purpose. You need to choose a purpose that you can come in a very effective way, you can fulfill in a very effective way, and this purpose is as big as possible. So if you are struggling with money, I would recommend you stop thinking in the money, start thinking in relations, and start thinking on helping the people around you. Another tactic is if you watch the Maslow pyramid, you can start from the bottom. So when you start from the bottom, the necessities in the bottom of the Maslow pyramid are more easy to satisfy and to sell. It's better first to focus on that stage, especially if you are struggling with money. If you need to make money fast, just focus there in the bottom base of the pyramid and try to connect with some activities to sell food, sell water, to rent rooms, to drive a Uber, or do something basic, some basic services or products that you can provide to the people. And that will be an easy way just to get the money you need for the right now moment. And the next step, and this was very difficult for me, is to reduce your cost of life. That was very difficult for me, but it's extremely important. And once you reduce the cost of your life, you understand a totally different relation with money. And you realize how much you were wasting money in the past. And this is a pity. This is a pity. So this is a very important skill, to live with very few things, and also you can be absolutely happy. Many times we buy stupid things just as a reaction, not because we really need it. And happiness is not there. The real happiness is when people say thank you. And that was my KPI. That was my key performance index. Was when people say thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you very much, Daniel. The most beautiful moment for me is when people say, I'm happy to meet you, Daniel. I'm happy that you are in your life, in our life. I am happy that you are in our life. That was amazing. That was a sign that I was doing something good. And of course, it's when work makes you happy. That's why it's important to not lose time just looking for freelance jobs in those platforms or these kind of things. No. Connect with the people directly. The people around you, your neighbors, maybe ex-colleagues from the work, or maybe anyone, could be anyone, that you can create a trust-based relation. Okay, there you can start. And now I'm happy that I can help more people. And at the end, that's business. Business is to help people. At least from my perspective. And when you switch to this mentality, money is just a flow. You need to develop skills to save money, to keep money, and then you can develop slowly and steady the skills to grow, to accumulate and grow the money. But the basement, so today I can lose everything I have and I can start again. I will do the same. I will do the same. I will focus on the people. I will connect with the people. I will start again from the scratch, but this time without fear. Without fear. It was difficult, but it was a great learning path. And if you want to tell me your story, feel free to write it in the comments. I will love to read it and to know your story as well. Sometimes these stories, the strong stories, are the more relevant in our life. These adventures are the greatest moment of our life. These are the stories that we would like to tell to our grandchildren. This is a story we can tell to the kids. And I heard the other day that the most dangerous business is to have a job, because you are one external person decision from the bankruptcy, from the catastrophe. So if you are now fearing to lose your job, or you think that there is a possibility that artificial intelligence will leave you out of the job, I would recommend you try to prepare yourself. Prepare yourself to be entrepreneur. Start to build your business now. And to build a business is to build a network of relations and a trust-based system. Try to be free of debts. Get rid of debts if you can. If you cannot get rid of debts, try to accumulate some buffer so you can face the situation in case you lose your job. And accumulate relations. Some people accumulate certifications, trainings, courses. That's okay. It's okay to receive some training, new skills, certifications. But don't forget to accumulate relations. This will be your life best. So 14 months later, I own my own house. I'm house owner. I don't own it to the bank. I know how to pay it. I have a car. I bought a car. And I have all the tools to build my business, and I'm in the next phase on building my business, and I would love to share with you everything I knew and I tested. So if you have any questions, just drop it in the comments, and I will be glad to share with you any details on how I move step by step. So everything is about strategy. A strategy, honesty, be honorable, be values driven, and help the people. Be a helper. Suddenly I started to receive a lot of appreciation, and I really love it. I really love. My customers are my purpose, and I really love to be at their service. This is a totally healthy, honest relation, and we are growing together. I like that definition. So it's a beautiful definition from Simon Sinek. A relation is when we decide to grow together. That's a healthy relation. If you want a healthy marriage, focus on the commitment to grow together. If you want a prosperous friendship, focus on grow together. If you want a good business partnership, focus on grow together. It's the same. It's the basics. This is something we can take care when we are entrepreneurs, that we cannot when we are employees. I'm not against employment, but the problem is that employment is disappearing. It's not anymore a model. It's disappearing fastly than what we think. With artificial intelligence, millions of employment relations are ended. And we need to come back to the basic. We need to come back to ethics and to values. And an artificial intelligence system will never be accountable. It can automate tasks, it can generate things, but you cannot remain it accountable. And this is all the disasters that are happening in the big companies now. They left AI to take decisions, catastrophic decisions, and now they don't have no one to blame. So I think you deserve a good life and you deserve dignity as a human being. And I will be glad to help you if you need. If you want my help, I can help you. If you have any questions, just drop it in the comments. I'm here for you. I want the best for you. And I just want you to open your eyes. Stop thinking in money. Stop fearing. Start moving and start building relations. And life is generous. Life is very generous. And a lot of abundance is waiting for you as long as you open your heart. So I wish you the best in your life journey. And I wish you to have a lot of challenges that will make you stronger and smarter. And if you want to have a talk with me, my agenda is open and we can have a session whenever you want. I love to help entrepreneurs. Or if you want to find a job, I can also help you to find a job. So take care of yourself, remain safety. Don't put your family in the hands of a manager. Unless you have a plan B. And learn about AI. It's important today. We all need to dominate AI. I will share some videos here as well, how to use AI and AI agents. So it's a good moment to remind you to follow me, subscribe to this channel, and join my community. I wish you a happy life. All the best. And make the truth make you free. Have a nice life.